The students, we shall begin from where we stopped yesterday. We had seen how the author was able to distinguish between the two brothers, the Gessler brothers, the younger one and the elder one, depending on the way one responded. If it was younger brother, he wouldn't be speaking much when something is asked. But if it's the elder brother, he would say, I would ask my brother. From that, we could make out he is elder brother. And then the author explained how they were fascinated by leather. They used only quality leather, and when something was ordered newly, they enjoyed exhibiting the leather to the customer and feeling the satisfaction of it. That's where we stopped. Page number 27. Then I would murmur, thank you. Good morning, Mr. Gessler. Good morning, he would reply, still looking at the leather in his hand. So he continued to admire the leather. And as I moved to the door, I would hear the tip-tap of his bast slippers restoring him up the stairs to his dream of boots. We have seen yesterday how he came down from the upstairs making the same sound, tip-tap of his bast slippers. Now he is getting back. He is restoring him means bringing him or getting him back. He is going back to the same place, his workshop. Up the stairs to his dream of boots. But if it were some new kind of footgear that he had not yet made me, then indeed he would have served ceremony. Divesting me of my boot and holding it long in his hand, looking at it with eyes at once critical and loving, as if recalling the glow with which he had created it, and rebuking the way in which one had disorganized this masterpiece. So this is about measurement, taking measurements for a new piece of boots, taking measurement for a new piece. But if it were some new kind of footgear, what is footgear? You may get doubt what is a footgear is. So that's why I just tried to explain here. What is a footgear? A footgear is a covering for the feet. That's the definition of a footgear. A covering for the feet. Examples like shoes, boots, etc. Shoes, boots, all these are examples of footgears. Footgear is another word for footwear. Today we call it footwear. So whether it's footwear or footgear, it's the same. One example or a quote, boots are the best footgear on rough terrain. How to use the word footgear? It's an advertisement. Boots are the best footgear on rough terrain. That is how we use the word footgear. So meaning is, footgear means same like what we are calling footwear. So this is a sole of a footgear. This is a sole of a footgear. So then you'll have here something will be built to protect the feet, to protect the foot. So to protect the foot, something will be, this is like a platform. This is a sole, and underneath, and there will be high heels, you'll have something underneath, and other ones you'll have, all the soles will be attached with a kind of a roof like thing which covers the foot. We'll get back to it. But if it were some new kind of footgear that he had not yet made me, then indeed he would observe ceremony. What's the meaning of ceremony? Is a kind of ritual of observances. Ritual observances. Certain way of proceeding, certain way of doing things that cannot be avoided, that has to be followed. Step 1, step 2, step 3, like that. Certain, like a puja in a temple. There are certain ceremonies will be followed. So here also, if it was a new pair of boots, he had certain ceremony. Divesting me of my foot and holding it long in his hand. Divesting means get rid of. Divesting means deprive somebody of something. So divesting me of my boot means he will take the boot out of my foot. You know, it's very cold in England. And many countries where it's very cold, they will never take off their footwear. And even if they take it out, it has to be in a fireplace where there is fire and is warmth. Otherwise they don't take it out. Here, Gessler brothers, they would take his boot out. He'll be asked to remove his boot. So divesting me of means deprive somebody of something. That is to strip. They will ask him to strip off his boot and make his foot naked so that he can take the measurement. Divesting me of my boot and holding it long in his hand, looking at it with eyes at once critical and loving, as if recalling the glow with which he had created it, and rebuking the way in which one had disorganized this masterpiece. Disorganized means disordered. That is to say, he will remove his shoes, then take his foot in his hand and very closely he will observe it, so that he can make a nice pair of boots for him. Then placing my foot on a piece of paper, he would 2 or 3 times tickle the outer edges with a pencil and pass his nervous fingers over my toes, feeling himself into the heart of my requirements. So then what will he do? After holding the foot in his hand and observing, then he'll make the foot to rest on a paper. Then he'll take a pencil and tickle 2-3 times. What's the meaning of tickle? Tickle is a kind of light touch. You know what is tickling? Light touch. Here it's a light touch. So suppose this is a paper and this is a foot. He make his foot to rest on the paper. Then he'll take the pencil and may tickle it 2-3 times. And then he will hold the toe. Toe is the biggest finger on your leg. This is a toe. The leg's toe is the biggest finger. Then he will take the toe and feel it and make his fingers run over the feet and the fingers, feeling himself into the heart of my requirements. Then we will study, observe and grasp what is required for him. So this is the way Gessler brothers used to make the measurement. What a beautiful way of making. These days you just go to the shop, they have everything ready made. They'll bring 2 pairs, 3 pairs, 10 pairs, as many as you want. Then you just keep on trying and then you fix on one. Gessler brothers were not like that. They used to very systematically, ceremoniously, certain method of doing it was there. So according to that ceremony, Gessler brothers would take the measurement. I cannot forget that day on which I had occasion to say to him, Mr. Gessler, that last pair of town walking boots creaked, you know. Then one day I happened to tell him that the pair of walking boots you gave me, different kinds of boots I told you last day. Walking boots creaked, you know. What is creak? Creak is making a harsh sound. Making a harsh, high-pitched sound. Especially when you walk, when you give the pressure, it gives out the sound. Actually, a good boot, a good shoe should not creak. He looked at me for a time without replying. He must have been perplexed, he must have been surprised, as if expecting me to withdraw or qualify the statement. He wanted me either to withdraw the statement, and he must have said something wrong. He was expecting me to say, sorry, it did not crack. Or he wanted to say, get some explanation from me, but nothing was given. Then he said, it shouldn't have Greeked. So his language is influenced by German. It shouldn't have Greeked. That means it should not have creaked. It did, I am afraid, I said. You got them wed before they found themselves. You got them wed before they found themselves. That means, did you get it wet before you used it? I don't think so. Some shoes are not to be drenched in water. It should not get wet. If it gets wet, it will get spoiled. At that, he lowered his eyes, as if hunting for memory of those boots, and felt sorry I had mentioned this grave thing. Then he was trying to recollect, trying to feel how he made the boot for him. Where did I go wrong? Was it not done well? He was trying to reflect. Then he said, and felt sorry I had mentioned this grave thing. Grave means serious, important. So he was feeling sad that such a grave thing was mentioned to him. Then what did he, after reflection, he said, send them back. He said, I will look at them. You send them back, I will look at them. A feeling of compassion for my creaking boots surged up in me. So well could I imagine the sorrowful long curiosity of regard which he would bend on them. So he was feeling so sad, and the author was imagining himself looking at those pair of boots which went wrong. Then Gessler brother said, some boots, he said slowly, are bad from bird. If I can do nodding with them, I take them off your bill. Are bad, some boots are bad from birth. From birth means from the very making of it. They are bad. If I can do nothing with them, if I can repair it, if I can set it right, it's fine. Otherwise, I take them off your bill. I will take them off your bill means I will repay your bill. I will pay you back. I don't want money for that. What a responsible shopkeeper. Once only, I went absent-mindedly into his shop in a pair of boots bought in an emergency at some large firms. He took my order without showing me any leather, and I could feel his eyes penetrating the inferior integument of my foot. At last he said, those are not my boots. So one day it happened, I went to Gessler Brothers putting on a pair of boots which I happened to buy outside. I normally use only boots bought from Gessler Brothers. It so happened once I had to buy a pair of boots from outside made by a company, and I had to go without knowing. Only once I went absent-mindedly. If I was aware of it, I would not have done that. Into his shop in a pair of boots bought in an emergency at some large firm, big company. He took my order without showing me any leather. Normally when order is placed, he will bring the leather and show him, and he will enjoy, and he make the customer to enjoy. This time he did not show the leather because he was disappointed. He was sad that he bought another one. And I could feel his eyes penetrating the interior integument of my foot. Integument is a tough protection layer. So this is the sole of the boot. Then around this there is a tough protection area. And here also there will be tough protection area underneath, sideways, and it will be built up. So he was looking here above the sole. This is a protection area for the foot. I could feel his eyes penetrating. Penetrate means look through the interior integument of my foot. At last he said, those are not my boots. Those are not my boots. The tone was not one of anger, nor of sorrow, not even of contempt, but there was in it something quiet that froze the blood. Was he angry? No. Was he sorrowful? Not at all. And not even dissatisfied. Was he dissatisfied that I bought a pair of boots outside? No. Then what was it? There was in it something quiet that froze the blood, made my blood to freeze. It was something very terrible feeling. The look of or the feel of Gessler brother made my blood to freeze. Very terrifying. He put his hand down and pressed a finger on the place where the left boot, endeavoring to be fashionable, was not quite comfortable. So he put his hand down and pressed a finger on the place where the left boot, endeavoring to be fashionable, was not quite comfortable. So he just put his hand and pressed where the place that was not comfortable for the foot. It hurts you here, it hurts you dear, he said. That means it hurts you, H-U-R-T-S. It hurts you here, he said. Those big bumps are no self-respect trash. Those big firms have no self-respect. Trash. That's what he said. It hurts you here, he said. Those big firms have no self-respect. Trash. And then, as if something had given way within him, he spoke long and bitterly. It was the only time I ever heard him discuss the conditions and hardships of his trade. Then he started to speak. Earlier he never spoke like this, especially about the difficulties he faced or the hard work he had to put in or the way they were treated by the companies. He never spoke of it, but now he spoke. They get it all, he said. They get it by advertisement, not by work. They take it away from us who love our boots. It comes to this, presently I have no work. So what did he say? They get it all. They get it all, he said. They get it by advertisement. Who? The big firms get it by advertisement, not by work, not by work. They take it away from us who love our boots. Who love our boots. It comes to this, presently I have no work. I read once again. They get it all, he said. They get it by advertisement, not by work. They take it away from us who love our boots. It comes to this, presently I have no work. So that is a very bad situation the Gessler brothers were in. Every year it gets less, you will see. So what did he say? Every year it gets less means his work gets lesser and lesser by year. As years go by, work becomes less and less. And looking at his lined face, I saw things I had never noticed before. Bitter things and bitter struggle. And what a lot of grey hairs there seemed suddenly in his red beard. Only then I noticed. All these days I never paid attention. Suddenly I found his beard was full of grey beards. So far I thought his beard was, he had made it red beard he had. I never noticed that some of them had turned grey. And today I found many of them had turned grey. That means he was growing older suddenly. As best as I could, I explained the circumstances of the purchase of those yellow-omened boots. But his face and voice made so deep impression that during the next few minutes I ordered many pairs. Nemesis fell. They lasted more terribly than ever, and I was not able conscientiously to go to him for nearly 2 years. So when Gessler brothers came out and explained very freely what is their difficulties, their hardships, at best I could explain the circumstances of the purchase of those yellow-omened boots. Yellow-omened means bad luck. The boots which brought bad luck, I explained what was the situation that made me to buy them. But his face and voice made so deep impression that during the next few minutes I ordered many pairs. So he was so much depressed that made me to order many pairs, which was not needed for me. Nemesis fell. Nemesis is a kind of enemy, inescapable enemy who is working against you. Here Nemesis fell means compromise was made. Undoing. Another meaning of Nemesis is undoing. So Nemesis fell means undoing was done. The hurt I made, the way I hurt him, or the difficulties I caused him, the ill feeling created was undone. How? When I ordered plenty of a number of pairs of boots, it was undone. They lasted more terribly than ever. So he says, author says, those boots which I ordered that day lasted for quite a long time. And I was not able conscientiously to go to him for nearly 2 years. So conscientiously means controlled by one's own self. I did not feel like going to him immediately because I had to hurt him. So we have today's scene, how the taking of measurement was done and how the boots that creaked and then boot brought from outside made by a big firm. What was the emotional effect that had on Gessler brothers, and also what is the meaning of footgear. Footgear is nothing but footwear, and what is the soul of a footgear. Thank you.